Howdy there, friends of the vinyl community. It's Robert with Block's Sonic Wafers, and I just wanted to pop in and make a little video about what I'm listening to lately. For the most part, I am still going through my stack of records from my Secret Stash Volume 4, which, if you haven't seen it, you can find it on most of the major outlets via cable, Netflix, etc. Oh, wait. Yeah. No? Okay, I'm sorry. I do have a correction. Apparently, that is not the case. You can find my Secret Stash number 4 on this channel and down below somewhere. If you are interested, go take a peek. I'm probably about more than halfway through that stack of records, and listen to every one of them start to finish. I've got a couple of highlights here. One of the highlights I don't have right here is John Prine's Common Sense. It sure has been a long time since I've heard that album, and it sounded great. I miss John. King's X, Out of the Silent Planet. This was basically new to me, even though I've had it for years. So I gave it a spin all the way through, and I was highly impressed all the way through. This will be getting a return visit to the platter very soon. If you're not familiar with King's X, and I'm sure more of you are than I was, they're a very good hard rock, kind of progressive power trio. So there's that on Mega Force Worldwide, which is a subsidiary of Atlantic Records. And then I also checked out Hagar, Sean, Aronson, and Shreve. I'm not familiar with Aronson. Maybe somebody can update me as to his roots. But of course, Sammy Hagar, Neil Sean came from Santana and then Journey. And Michael Shreve was the drummer for Santana at Woodstock and later. And this is a live album. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed their cover of Whiter Shade of Pale. So I don't know why this has sat on the shelf for many, many years without getting airplay. And this one impressed me the most, I believe. Happy the Man. I don't know how long I've had this one, but I've had it a long time. I've never sat down and gave it the attention it deserved. It is very good progressive rock, a band from right here in Virginia. I understand they have a couple more albums, and I will be looking for them now. They are primarily instrumental, reminded me a little bit of Camel, but the songs that do have vocals are very good, and I will also be spinning this again very soon. So that's kind of an update on that part of my listening pile. I know Mazzy did a video recently about Cherry Red Records, and I just wanted to kind of add to that a little bit. I did a video about the Bebop Deluxe box sets. This is the final one and was the last one I got. But this is from a subsidiary of Cherry Red called Esoteric. Esoteric has a lot of old prog bands that they are putting out little box sets and 5.1 mixes, which are important to me. They aren't to everybody. But it says here on the back, discs 2 through 15, Cherry Red Records. Disc 16 DVD, Cherry Red Records. This compilation Cherry Red records. So there's no denying Esoteric and Cherry Red are in bed. This has got 16 discs in it, 7 complete live shows. Unfortunately, they didn't do a 5.1 of the original album in here. I don't know why that decision was made. All the other box sets do have a 5.1 mix. That's not important to a lot of people. To me, that's the whole reason I buy box sets. Barclay James Harvest. This is also on Esoteric. I'm not that familiar with Barclay James Harvest. I really like this set. A journalist one time referred to them as the poor man's Moody Blues. And on one of their CDs they have a song called The Poor Man's Moody Blues. So they've got quite a few of these sets by BJH, and they're reasonably priced. I highly recommend you check them out. And they also have quite a few. These are little box sets. I think they're all 3-disc. Anthony Phillips, who was a very early member of Genesis. Well, it's got a lot of stuff in it, including a poster. Wise After the Event. And The Geese and the Ghost. Those are the only two that I have thus far. But I will be getting more. And I know they also have some Renaissance box sets with DVD and 5.1 mixes. I also plan to get my hands on some of those. Okay, and my newest unboxing, which I didn't film, I just recently received this version of Exposure by Robert Fripp, which is the 4th edition from 2021. It has a stereo mix and a 5.1 mix, both done by Steven Wilson. This also contains the 3rd edition in stereo only, and the unreleased lost album, they call it, Last of the Great New York Heartthrobs, which is an early version of Exposure. So there's Bobby, and there's the booklet that always falls out of all of their 2-disc issues. There's no place to put it. So I have been enjoying that to a degree. I have to be honest, I'm not a big fan of, I guess, the punk era and whatever that New York sound is called, where, you know, an example on here would be, I'd have to get the book out now. Disengaged, to me, sounds like a lot of hollering. You know, it may grow on me at some point. New York 3, I have the same experience with. Breathless, to me, sounds like a song Robert Fripp has written at least 10 times with different names and in a different key maybe. But anyway, I won't get into that. I'm glad to have this in my collection. A friend of mine ordered the big box, which is nearly $300, and it's got all of Robert Fripp's solo stuff in it, including the Frippatronics and all of that stuff. So I'll get to hear some of that when it arrives. Mike up at T-Cat reminded me that I have Schoolyard Ghosts by No Man, which is also a Steven Wilson project. And he makes these with Tim Bowness, however you pronounce it, as the vocalist. You know, this one, it's really great in surround sound, but it kind of gets in a mood and stays there for, in my opinion, a little too long. There is one song in the middle that kind of rocks out a little bit, or it's pretty heavy anyway. But I still enjoy this. I don't know if it wasn't in 5.1 if I would feel that way. I have been listening to Randy Newman. Guilty. 30 years. I've always enjoyed Randy Newman's sense of humor, sense of self, sense of the world, sense of satire, and this is a great collection. It's got 4 discs in it. And I started listening to this again because I had to glue all these cards back in except for this one, so it's probably going to come loose next. I don't know if y'all have that experience with these bookshelf book type box sets, but you know, especially these two in the front are on a very flimsy page. See, that one's already trying to come loose. But anyway, they're secure for the moment. Disc 3 is all unreleased material. There's some great songs on there. Disc 4 is mostly music he's done for films, and there's some good stuff on there. My favorite is number 2, which has got some of my favorite of the studio stuff. But it's chock full. Great little box set. I love box sets. But with the passing of Alan White, I've been listening to some of his work with John Lennon. This is the limited edition version of Legend. This one comes with the DVD that has the 5.1 surround sound of the entire song list, which is 20 tunes. And this one has a great 5.1 mix of Instant Karma on it. That is Alan White doing the drum bit on that, and also he played some piano on that, because I understand that Phil Spector wanted there to be a bunch of pianos on it. So Alan White sat side by side with John at one piano. Klaus Vorman played another piano, and I think Nicky Hopkins was also playing. Very interesting. Alan White was a great drummer. He will be missed. So I also broke out, and this is something I haven't listened to in a long time. Imagine all the outtakes. Of course, it is bootleg. It is great quality. It's all studio material. It's not somebody recording it on their little reel-to-reel in the room. It's got an alternate version of Imagine, ending with a jam version of Baby Please Don't Go. And then it's got a whole lot of the songs being worked up on here. I don't know if you can see that. And comes with a nice little book. Interviews with Yoko and John in here. Information on each one of the tracks. Bobby Keys is on here on some of them. I like in the back here it says, photos used without permission from Spud Murphy. Thanks, Spud. Whip and Mirror by Yoko Ono. So I don't know exactly what they mean by that. But with that said, I am about to complete another revolution around the old big light bulb next week. which is always a depressing time for me, and so far this year's no different. But to help alleviate some of that discomfort, I placed an order and spent too much money on a little birthday present for myself. That will be an unboxing video at some point next week, maybe two. And you can't imagine what it was that I ordered, I'm sure. I just hope it's well packaged, and that I don't find it, when I open the box, to be crippled inside. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I've almost waited too long. I'm sure everybody else out there already has these. And I've had that FOMO going on, scared to death that I was going to miss the opportunity, and I almost have, because I've seen prices go crazy on these. But I kind of got lucky there, if everything works out the way it's supposed to. So, other than that, that is it for the time being. I am listening to a lot of music and enjoying it thoroughly. And I have got videos to catch up on, because there's some contests I want to get in on, and I started that Discovery series that I want to pursue further. And I kind of did that with these 3 records I just showed. Happy the Man, I'm really excited about them, and they're from right here in Virginia. I'm going to find those other 2 albums or whatever else they have available. Somehow they'll pop up eventually. And that's it for the time being. Hope everybody's having a great Friday, and I will be back with another video soon. There's my 18-minute mark. See you next time.